What's up, YouTube? Or Storm here, coming at you guys on the discussion topic today. This is going to be a topic about Phantom Knights and are they as good as some of the hype artists are making, and etc. So today we're going to be talking. Obviously, the other day I was on Dueling Network. I don't know if I was streaming or not. I don't quite recall. Time tends to flow together for me sometimes. I was playing my one of my new Phantom Knight builds, the one with the Burning Abyss in it, and a guy literally said, and this is like a quote from him. He said, "Phantom Knights are tier 1. So this is going to be kind of a bit of a, as you guys know, Phantom Knights have gotten quite a big soft spot for me over here on the channel. I've been playtesting the deck since I came out. I'm a big fan of Arc 5, so obviously Yugioh is one of my favorite characters. So naturally, I kind of like the deck. So this was actually the build I was playing. I was playing the Phantom Abyss build, and the guy legitimately, quote unquote, told me, quote, "The deck is tier 1 because Jeff Jones played it." I mean, and part of this video is going to be a bit of a rant about this whole thing. First off, do not build your own decks. Do not let the top players tell you what to play or how to build it. Use your own brain and decide for yourself what is or is not top tier. But I think most of you guys watching this can agree. The top 3 decks are Cosmos, Draco Pals, and Monarchs. And the good thing about the adjusted list, as much as I was kind of not a big fan of the whole thing in general, it did do what it was intended, which was to make the format a little more open. And then you have Mermails, which also can do very well. They can OTK with 2 cards basically. And that's the thing that bothers me the most about these sheep and decoppers, because the top player plays a deck, they're going to assume it's top tier. I mean, I literally think at this point these sheep or decoppers would probably think Ice Barriers were tier 1 if Jeff Jones did well at an event with them. Because that's kind of like. But that's neither here nor there, and we're going to do a little bit of an archetype analysis and say, okay, are Phantom Knights good enough to be maybe not tier 1, but maybe a solid tier 2, 2.5 deck, much like. Now, as far as the whole, a little bit more on the Jeff Jones situation, he does this once a year. If you don't know who Jeff Jones is, he's widely considered, quote unquote, one of the top players in the game. He is one of the he's more known for being one of the best deck builders in Yu-Gi-Oh, and I can safely say, yeah, he's probably the best deck builder in Yu-Gi-Oh! In the whole game, and I can't deny that. But at the same time, we shouldn't really always rely on what the top players say, do, or play to define what we're going to do. So we might have to ask ourselves, okay, what kind of deck? How should Phantom Knights be played? Should be using? I think there's 2 different ways you can go, but I think this is kind of like where I'm going with them. I think Phantom Knights mixed with Burning Abyss is kind of the ideal thing to do with them. I mean, first thing you might ask watching this is that, okay, what did the Phantom Knights give Burning Abyss they didn't have before? The first thing, the biggest problem I always had in testing with Burning Abyss was the fact that I had to play a lot of traps, but naturally, because Dante is going to mill them, I'm going to mill a lot of them. The thing about the Phantom Knight trap cards is that they work in graveyard, so I don't care about milling them necessarily. And that really kind of fixes one of the biggest problems I always had with Burning Abyss, was that when I was playtest them on Dueling Network or whatever, I'd end up milling my good stuff, you know. You've all had that feeling. You go Dante, mill 3, and then you mill all your traps. So that's one of the things that Phantom Knights do help this deck a lot. The other thing the Phantom Knights give the deck is a way to get over beefy monsters. If you guys played Burning Abyss during Necros format, you probably know that or even during Next Challenger format, if your opponent slapped a Yazi down with and you literally as a Burning Abyss player could not get it off the field, and then that's kind of where the Phantom Knights come in. You have cards like Rugged Glove that allow you to make your Dark Exceed monsters up to give them 1,000 attack. You have Ancient Cloak, allows you to buff up your dark monsters on the field. Phantom Wings gives them 500 attack, and it really does help the deck. Was one of the biggest problems it still has, and in the fact that it does give them an extra attack boost, which is really the biggest problem with the archetype in general, is getting over beefy monsters. As far as that's actually a really good way. I think that if Phantom Knights are going to be, as far as the archetype itself, it has way too many jank. It's very janky because it's heavily reliant on getting good mills off with Dante. And the fact is, if you're not able to use your main archetype monsters to do anything, then you're not really. It's not really, can't even be close to consider a tier 1 deck. But I do think Phantom Knights are a solid, rogue choice, but I don't think they're going to do very well in the next couple events, and hopefully that'll mean cards like this Break Sword here drop in price. So basically, in summary, I think that Phantom Knights, while they're not, I don't think that they're worth, the hype Jeff Jones started up when he took them to an event, but I do think that they are a very solid deck, just not worth the hype train and the dick hoppers, and that the dick hoppers have started. So anyway, guys, as always, I thank you guys for watching this video today. I really appreciate it when you guys watch my videos. Tune on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. If you like what you saw from this video, please subscribe. Warstorm, signing out.